Hey, what's up guys, Rev here. So I'm sure everyone watching this video is aware of the hysteria surrounding the Hogwarts Legacy game. People on social media are claiming that by purchasing this game, you are a transphobe and not an ally, because by virtue of purchasing it, you're supporting the creator and IP that was used for this game, which is of course owned by J.K. Rowling, who many people believe is a transphobe based on some of her comments about trans women. Now, in my previous video I made about this about a week ago, I pointed out all of the hypocrisy and ridiculous claims people were making on social media about this game, and really at the time I thought surely things couldn't get any worse. Well, they have. The hypocrisy and outrage has gotten even worse over the past week or so, and I want to go over some of the most outrageous developments regarding that. We have everything from people who worked on the game now turning around to boycott it after they were paid for working on it. We have VTubers getting harassed for playing the game, some silence is violence claims about the game. We even have people trying to use this as an opportunity to scam people with a bootleg, trans-friendly version of this game. We even have some of the most ridiculous claims, like people comparing purchasing this game to murdering people. Yes, whole lot to go through today, so let's take a look at another round of some Hogwarts hypocrites. So we're going to start with this banger right here. I have been looking at this tweet for 4 straight days and I still can't believe it's real. So I'll give context in a second, but it states, "I'm sorry you were deeply invested in the wizard world as a child. I was deeply invested in the American Imperial War Machine as an adult. So much so that I killed for it and will spend the rest of my life trying to make amends. You're not a kid anymore. It's time to grow." Yes. Buying the Hogwarts game is comparable to killing people in war. So for context, this is a trans woman who apparently served in the military. I'm assuming something to do on the war on terror. They're probably in the Middle East. And they're claiming that they killed people in a war that they believed was the result of imperialism. But that is on the same level as buying the funny wizard game. That is absolutely the most insane reach I have ever seen. You are talking about killing people as an adult in a war that you believe was the act of imperialism and comparing it to buying a wizard game. That is completely outrageous. Your personal disgust with this game is completely fine, but to compare it to things you did in the military, come on. And also, I want to point out the irony too. They're also an MMA fighter. Like, you can punch women for a living, but that's okay. But buying a Hogwarts game is not. Like, I feel like there's some irony there too, but we're going to move on to the next one. So some VTubers, a lot of VTubers actually, have been slowly coming out of the woodwork to stream this game as the dust sort of settles. And one of them, a surprise I'd say, was Silvervale. Silvervale has done multiple streams of Hogwarts Legacy. And of course, with that has come outrage like this. This user stating, "I hope the trans people in the VTuber community finally see how underhanded and corrupted Vshojo is, even after the immense backlash Silvervale got from the first stream from playing Hogwarts Legacy. She continued to play the game the very next day. She does not care about us." Honestly, base Silvervale, not buckling to the pressure and streaming the game the very next day after getting outraged for her first stream. But yeah, let's think about this for a second. This is the straw that broke the camel's back for you. This is why you don't want to support Vshojo anymore. It wasn't the dozens of controversies and bad things some of their members have done over the years. It was playing the funny wizard game that was too far for you. Like, be for real, honestly. And you have people down here comparing this to the Pikami situation, where this user said, "Pikami accepted she was wrong and grew as a person. Silvervale, on the other hand, has shown she absolutely does not care for trans people. She only cares about her nostalgia, even though many trans people never be able to have nostalgia." Look, Pikami didn't get educated and stopped streaming the game or reconsidered streaming the game. She was harassed to the point where she viewed it as just not worth it. It wasn't worth getting harassed. She didn't sit there and say, "Oh my God, thank you guys so much for harassing me on Twitter and educating me about everything wrong with this game." No, she just got berated by a bunch of Western Twitter users into the point of just saying this is not worth streaming. That was not a point of education or growing as a person. It was bullying. And it really just showed that why would anyone want to listen to you people? Why would anyone want to listen to this outrage? You just bully people into submission. That's the only way you get anything done. There's no lessons to be learned, and it makes people like Pikami or anyone else much less interested in listening to these issues because they just associate it with bullying and harassment. And here we have another situation involving a VTuber and this game. This popular VTuber sharing a post critical of people buying the game shared this, and of course I have to post screenshots because I'm blocked by this person, unfortunately. But they say, I'm not very good with words, but this is pretty much how I feel. Words are cheap, actions speak. If you care about your trans friends and family, you wouldn't support a game that funds a woman who actively hurts them and many others with both words and actions. And they say that they enjoyed Harry Potter as a kid and that they're not touching this game. And essentially, you're not supporting trans people if you buy this game. Where, curiously, people with very little effort dug up recent tweets of this same VTuber announcing gleefully that they're going to Universal Studios and they're excited to see the Harry Potter section. This was posted 3 months ago. 3 months ago. Not only did they go to the Harry Potter section, they also bought multiple plushies and merchandise while they're there. And let me make this clear as someone who has been to Universal Studios, there is a million other things you could do than visiting the Harry Potter section, okay? It's not the only thing there. It's only a fraction of the activities. If you skipped out on the Harry Potter section, you wouldn't miss much. You would still have lots of fun. And of course, people pointed out this hypocrisy where this VTuber had an excuse for everything. Well, number one, they just didn't know. They just didn't know that buying Harry Potter merch from the Harry Potter section of Universal Studios would support J.K. Rowling. She had no idea. Of course, a very valid excuse, I'm sure. But beyond that, they also stated that in these 3 months since then, she has educated herself, and she now knows that this was wrong. So you can't get mad at her because she's educated now. So I don't know what's more pathetic, the excuses for the hypocrisy or the fact that a grown woman is apologizing to random people on Twitter for visiting a theme park. Like, I truly don't know what's worse. But moving on, it's not just VTubers who are talking about this game who are getting in trouble. We have reached the peak of outrage, the silence is violence stage, where VTubers like this have been attacked for not speaking up about this game. So a concerned viewer sent this VTuber a message stating, "What are your thoughts on J.K. Rowling and the Harry Potter series? You've been awfully quiet about this, and I have noticed you have not said a single word about it. If you do not respond, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to block you. Being silent about this is just the same as those who play and support the game. Take accountability for your silence and support us trans folks." That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Silence is violence. If you don't come out and denounce the silly, funny wizard game, you are a transphobe, and you're just as guilty as the people who actually spent money buying the game. Yeah, because this is such an imperative issue of whether or not you support the wizard game that everyone has to speak about it. Honestly, I don't want my VTubers to speak about just about anything. They have the right to, but you know what? I don't need to know where every single VTuber stands on every single issue, especially like political issues. Like, no offense, you can have a lot of followers on Twitter and Twitch and YouTube and all those things. That doesn't make you smarter, okay? Just because I have, 600,000 subscribers, that doesn't make me smarter than the average person. Like, we're here to entertain people. Like, it doesn't make you smart. So why do you care what some random VTuber has to say about this stuff? It's absolutely insane. But you know what? Not everyone is silent on this issue. You have people like Parker, our good pal Parker over here, who was a technician who helped work on this game. They're even credited for the game. They helped create Hogwarts Legacy, but they have now turned around and said, here's my place in the Hogwarts Legacy credits. The second high-budget game I've been credited in. I was the real-time technician on shoot floor, helping mocap actors see their rigs in the environments. I will not be purchasing the game. It's the least I can do as an ally. Amazing. And of course, just like anything else, they limit the replies and hide anything critical of them because, the obvious fact that they're a massive hypocrite. You worked on a game that you believe is hurting trans people, but you're okay because you say you're sorry on Twitter, but you're somehow different than the people buying the game. Make it make sense. Honestly, we all know you were paid for this, so if you were actually sorry about this and you want to be an ally, take all of the money you made from this game that you're paid as a technician and donate it to some transgender supporting charity. Oh, of course, you won't do that because if you give all that money away, how will you afford your soy lattes? You know what I mean? Like, it's absolutely ridiculous. How can you be this bold face of a hypocrite? It's embarrassing. And you know what? I don't have to be a technician or in the video game industry to know that people hiring people like this will look at these actions and be like, no way, dude. Are you going to go work on my game? And then as soon as you're paid, you're going to go onto social media and tell people not to purchase the game after you were paid and hurt my products and my bottom line? No way would I hire someone like this. That is the most insanely unprofessional thing in the world. Like, yeah, no offense, there should be consequences when you speak out against a product you gladly worked on when you're getting paid. And the second it's convenient for you to turn around and get brownie points on Twitter for shaming people for buying it, you go and do it. That's pathetic. I don't know why anyone would want to hire you after this. And then you have this situation. This is insane. So a group of people created this basically bootleg version of the game called Trans Witches Are Witches. For a low, low price of $60, you can buy this game that is supposed to be supporting trans people. And besides the fact you're looking at it, it uses Harry Potter font and assets in the game that is supposed to be besmudging the transphobe game that it's borrowing from. You always know a scam is a scam when the goal of their fundraiser increases. It's not the first time we've seen someone do this where, oh, we need $50,000 to do X, Y, or Z. And as soon as they quickly reach that goal, they expand it because something came up or they just don't say anything. That is a major, major red flag in these situations. And honestly, I don't know who is buying this. If you want to support trans people and people who are in vulnerable situations, go find an appropriate charity, not people looking to make a quick buck on Twitter. This is ridiculous. And again, it's just piggybacking off of the thing that they think is hurting trans people. It's not the own they think it is. But I wanted to end on one more thing. I did not have time to talk about this in the last video. I didn't really see a whole lot about this, but there is a lot of outrage involving the different goblin characters from the game. People are now claiming that the goblins in the Harry Potter universe are anti-Semitic references to Jewish people. And again, I don't need to really get into this. I think it's just one of those things. It's just like the orc situation, that orcs are supposed to be black people. I think if you look at this and you think of Jewish people, you're the anti-Semite here. That's all there is to it. There's nothing else to say. I really don't get how you can make that connection without having some sort of an inherent bias in your own head in the first place. But nonetheless, I know that was a lot. That was a long road of content here. Whole lot of hypocrisy. And please let me know all of your thoughts about this. I think this is the final Harry Potter video, okay? It can't get any worse. And I think we got the point, okay? So I hope you enjoyed the video, everyone. And I'll see you guys next time.